Due to my safety and confidentiality, I cannot disclose my name. I am 31-year-old who grew up in a normal, loving family with Sri Lankan ideals of community respect and acceptance. Born in an educated family, I grew up in Australia as a happy, independent, educated, to become a human resource professional. I was a free-spirited woman living in a privileged situation. I didn't know anything about domestic violence, never even heard about it before I met my husband Aruna, who was an Australian qualified doctor from Sri Lankan background. Aruna was already married in Melbourne while he married me in Sydney. How he got away with this, I ask you. After my marriage, he began to slowly break me down by his emotional, spiritual, physical, and multiple sexual abuse and assault. This abuse lasted for 7 years. During this time, I was completely isolated from my family and friends. Only after attempts on my life and my fear of being killed and my son being hurt, one day I was able to escape with my 15-month-old son from the prison-like existence and continuous fear of being found and killed. I escaped on 30th of April 2005 after calling 000. I was taken to Westmead Hospital by ambulance due to physical trauma. I escaped after being sexually abused while I was breastfeeding my child and cushion over my face. This day I never forget. I was extremely afraid, not knowing what is to come next. I was then sent to a women's refuge in Liverpool by the staff of Westmead Hospital in the middle of the night by a taxi, all alone with my son. I was so scared. I felt like going back to him. When I left home and the man who abused me, I had only $50 with no clothes for me and my son, not even a pair of thongs. Now, what do I do? Where am I to go? How am I going to feed the child? Where am I going to live? What do I do? At the women's refuge, I was given a roof, and to this day, I thank those ladies for helping me. I did not know much about these services. The ongoing experience of sexual abuse and assault has profound effect on my abilities of day-to-day activities, re-triggers trauma of ongoing nightmares, flashbacks, feeling of violation and humiliation. I feel as though he has ruined my life. Yes, I can go on and talk about all the bad things that happened to me. That is not the difficult part. It is the part after leaving abuse that scares most women so much that they rather put up with the violence and choose to stay with the abuse. It is the part I called building the car to take me from escaping violence to the real freedom. This is where most women fail and go back, put up with the abuse. In a way, it is easier to put up with the abuse than assemble the car. What I mean by building the car is there are so many good and fantastic services available, but how can these services be any benefit if the survivors of domestic violence do not know how to use them? The problem I had was I did not know where to find them, how it can be benefit to the circumstances that I was in. I had to start with putting a manual together. Where should I go and get help? These are some of the services, the parts of the car, which I've used over the last 2.5 years. Police, ambulance, financial assistance, Centrelink, forensic kit, legal aid commission, child support, life care services, victim services, Attorney General's Department of New South Wales, domestic violence line, New South Wales Rape Crisis Centre, Women's Legal Resource Centre, Liverpool Health Sexual Assault Unit, DOCS, Witness Assistance Services, Domestic Violence Advocacy Services, Sexual Assault Services, Victims of Crime Bureau, Macquarie Legal Centre, Chamber Magistrate, Child Support Agencies, Community Legal Centres, Community Health Centres, Migrant Women Speak Law, Parents Family Support Services, Homeless Persons Infoline, Community Justice Support Network, Women's Information and Referral Services, Kids Helpline, Parent Line, New South Wales Health, Family Court of Australia, Mission Australia, Court Support Services, Enough is Enough, Office of Director of Public Prosecution, Children's Court Clinic, Domestic Violence Crisis Accommodation, Relationship Australia, Child Abduction, Cancer Care, Family Relationship Services, Mediation Services, Family Services Australia, Financial Counselling Services, Employment Services. How many of you here who have worked in the industry knows what all these services do? But if you are a woman who've been isolated or cannot speak the language or simply don't know the direction, how do you find those services? Nobody to direct you to get ABO or child protection or counseling. Even after going to the Westmead Hospital and telling the doctors that I was sexually assaulted, the doctors did not do a sexual assault kit. Now, how am I to know that I would need this years down the track when I need to get protection from the courts? That they would ask me why I didn't get a sexual kit on the day. How does a woman that is traumatized, experiencing severe mental and physical exhaustion, carrying a baby, meant to know this? Is this her job or job of the hospital? I asked the system. Not to mention police. Why did I have to insist having him arrested? The man severely violated me, while he continued to see patients even after he was arrested. The medical board did not deregister him, and he made full plans to kidnap the child. Doc says they want to protect my child. My child is my life. I want to protect him too. He gave me the strength to escape. Then why is it that I am on a parenting plan? Why do I have to seek permission from docs to travel to see my parents? My income is $350 a week. My childcare fees imposed on me by docs is now $6,000. Child support owes me about $8,000. Why am I being punished? I asked the system. I live in Department of Housing. I thank them for giving me a roof. I want to break free from this terrible cycle of poverty. I've been lucky enough to get a job 2 weeks ago. How many women will be able to do the same and break free? Everywhere I went, there were individuals that helped me. Individuals that went to the extent of fighting my battle with me for no cost. Totally voluntary sometimes. Why not services and system do the same, I ask. If I was not able to build my car from the parts that I have discovered accidentally while looking for survival, I would have lost my child to this man who had made all the plans to take him out of the country. How many women can prevent this? What if you speak no English? What if you are new to the country? I am not asking you to build a car for every woman and child that need surviving domestic violence, because one model car will not suit everyone due to the circumstances that they're in. But how about putting a simple manual together? This manual can have all the services in your area that can help survive domestic violence. Description of services, simple questions the women should ask themselves, and how to access those services and who to speak to. Simple questions such as, do I need a court order? What is a court order? What is parenting plan? Do I need to see a lawyer? How much is it cost? Can I represent myself? Who pays the cost? What is separation? How do I apply for a divorce? What does serving means? What is an injunction? How does family law protect children? What is parenting order? What type of parenting orders are there? Who can apply for parenting order? What does child best interest mean? Will the court ask to speak to the children? What is family report? What is child representative? Can I prevent my child from being taken out of the country? What is child support? Child maintenance? And it keeps going on. Please, I beg of you to publish a resource book to survive domestic violence and to keep our children safe. It is our responsibility as a community to do such a simple task. Thank you.